Well, it could be anything. We did it last Friday. We had an amazing reaction to it, but 90% of it was either get rid of VAR or have less VAR. This is more VAR.
But what you
is that a negative?
It's in the game. Like, it's going to be in the game. We like it. It's a positive or a negative.
Putting more in.
Yeah, but we're trying. This is a problem. VAR should have worked in football, but as always, our product, we want to add it and put our own spin on it. And what we've done is just confused everyone. We've confused the players, the coaching staff, people that work in the media, the paying public, the fans, everyone that loves football. We've just confused everyone because we wanted to add our own spin on it and caused ourselves more problems. Hence why we talk about it every single week.
But what I think we forget is we used to talk about refereeing decisions all the time. And if you go back pre-VAR, everybody, every single fan, everybody in the media, every manager, every player was saying, oh, we've got to get some technology in because we're getting too many decisions wrong. There's a real choice here. There's a fundamental choice. You either have VAR or you don't. You either want more decisions right but accept there's going to be more interruptions to the game, or you don't and you accept there's going to be more wrong decisions. There is something that's really key here, though, Tom, that you hit there. You said we're getting more VAR. The PGMO, the Premier League, the English football authorities are determined to avoid VAR creep. They don't want more VAR. They don't want it to go into more and more detail about some of the lesser decisions. IFAB, and in particular FIFA, very much do. Pierluigi Collina, you'll remember him, the referee, was one of the best referees the world's ever seen. He's their head of referees. He's pushing for more VAR. We're going to go on to talk about VAR potentially looking at corners at the World Cup. I can tell you now, the Premier League and the Scottish Premiership, I think, are very unlikely to go for it. The Premier League don't want it, and they will, because it's optional, they won't have it. But FIFA are pushing it. And I think a fundamental concern here is if a corner is given incorrectly.
FIFA considers major VAR overhaul that could impact the Premier League. World football could be on the brink of another historic shift. FIFA is reportedly evaluating significant changes to the video assistant referee (VAR) system, changes that could potentially see its removal from the Premier League if concerns over its effectiveness continue to grow. Introduced to English football's top flight in 2019, VAR was designed to correct clear and obvious errors in key match incidents such as goals, penalties, red cards, and mistaken identity. The promise was simple: fewer controversies and fairer outcomes. However, several seasons on, the system remains one of the most divisive elements in the modern game. Growing frustration across the league. Criticism has steadily intensified from all corners of football. Managers have repeatedly questioned the consistency of decisions, particularly regarding handballs, marginal offside calls, and subjective interpretations of fouls in the build-up to goals. Players have expressed frustration over long delays that disrupt momentum, while supporters continue to voice dissatisfaction over the emotional impact of disallowed goals after prolonged reviews. One of the core complaints centers around inconsistency. Similar incidents have often resulted in different outcomes across separate matches, raising concerns about interpretation rather than technology itself. The debate has increasingly shifted from, is VAR necessary, to, is VAR being used correctly? What could change? Reports suggest that FIFA is examining several potential pathways. These include reducing the scope of VAR interventions, introducing stricter time limits for reviews, increasing transparency, such as live audio from referees, or, in a more dramatic scenario, removing VAR from specific competitions altogether. Any decision involving the Premier League would require coordination between FIFA, the league's governing bodies, and domestic refereeing authorities. While FIFA oversees global football regulations, domestic leagues retain operational control over implementation. The debate reflects a broader philosophical divide in football. On one side are those who believe technology is essential to ensuring fairness in a sport worth billions globally. On the other are traditionalists who argue that human error is part of football's fabric, and that excessive technological intervention erodes spontaneity and passion. For the Premier League, widely regarded as one of the most watched and commercially powerful leagues in the world, any shift away from VAR would represent a landmark moment. It could influence other competitions across Europe and beyond. At this stage, no official decision has been announced. However, the mere possibility of reform underscores the scale of dissatisfaction surrounding the system.